Today, we are going to create an expense tracker. First, we will create a folder inside our VS Code project, which we will name prj_expense. Then we need to add multiple files, such as add_expense.py, view_expense.py, and report.py. These files will contain the main functionality of our app. We will also create a main file where we can call these Python scripts, which we can name prj_expense.py. This will serve as the entry point for the app. Let's create a menu for the main page. First, we need to import the Streamlit library. Next, we define the pages. The first page is the Add Expense page. In stpage, we need to assign the page. We do this by passing the file name addExpense.py and assigning a title using title equals addExpense. Similarly, we create a page for View Expense and another for Report. After defining the pages, we need to assign them to the app's navigation. We can define a navigation object using pg equals stNavigation. Then, we define menus under the master navigation. You need to assign the list of pages to the master menu. I am also creating another menu, Transactions, for viewing expenses, and the last one, Reports, for viewing reports. To build these pages in the menu, we need to call the pgrun function. Finally, we can run the code using the command Streamlit run prj_expense.py. Let's see the output. Under Master, we have added the Add Expense page. Under Transaction, we have added the View Expense page. Under Reports, we have added the Reports page. Now we will create a MySQL connection to interact with the database. Whatever entries we make in the Add Expense section or information displayed in View Expense and Report sections will be fetched from the MySQL database. To connect to the MySQL database, we need to import the MySQL connector library. Use the following import statement. Import mysql.connector. Additionally, import the error handling module to handle exceptions. From mysql.connector import error. Import Streamlit as st. Import pandas as pd. Now, we will create a method to establish the connection to the SQL database. This method will be called test_connection. Inside the test_connection method, we will use the connect function to establish the connection. Pass the following parameters to the function. Host, the host name of your MySQL server, e.g. localhost. User, your MySQL user, e.g. root. Password, your MySQL password, e.g. MySQL at 1985. Database, the name of the database you want to use, e.g. Bexpense. After defining this method, we will test the connection by calling the test_connection function. Next, we will create the database if it does not already exist and ensure that the connection works as expected. Small correction in this method: instead on hostname, we need to use parameter as host to connect MySQL. Now let's run the code. If there are no errors, it will print connection successful. Otherwise, it will show an error. Our app is running. Please wait for 1 or 2 seconds. Once the page is loaded, it will display. As you can see, it's showing unknown database. Right now, we haven't created any database. So, let's go ahead and create the database. Log into your MySQL workbench. Write the following command, create database db expense. Run this command. Click the refresh button. As you can see, the db expense database has been created. Now our database has been created. Let's check the connection again. We need to run the project. Our main page is prj_expense.py. Let's run it. Please wait for 1 or 2 seconds. Once the page is loaded, it will print connection successful. In terminal, as you can see, the connection is successful. Now, let's create the tables for application. Now we will create the table. Earlier, we created the database, and now we need to select it by using the command used Bexpense. Next, we will create the table with the following syntax. Create table expenses, your table name. We will create an ID column as an auto-increment ID, integer, auto-increment primary key. Then, we need to define a title column as varchar, 255. Next, we will define a category column as varchar, 50. No more than that. We will define the amount column as decimal, 18.2. 18 integer digits and 2 decimal digits. Finally, we will define an edate column as date. Let's go ahead and create this table. Now, our table has been created. Refresh the database, and you will see the expenses table created. You can also see the columns. Our table has already been created. Now let's create the UI and code for inserting expense details into the database. First, we need to assign the Streamlit page title. We will define the title as Add Expense. Next, we will add a subheader, Maintain Daily Expenses. Now, we will use stForm to create the form. We will name the form expense_form. This will create a rectangular box layout for the form. We need to define controls for each database parameter, such as title, category, amount, and date. First, we will define the title field as a text box. We can use stText_input and define it as expense title. We will leave the placeholder value blank, but you can set the placeholder to enter expense title. Next, we will define the category field. We will name it category. For the category, we will define a list with hard-coded values: food, travel, rent, shopping, entertainment, other. Then we will create the amount field. For this, we will use stNumber_input to input the expense amount. We will define minimum and maximum values. The minimum value will be 0, and we can set a reasonable maximum value. Next, we will define the date field using stDate_input. Once the form is created, we need a submit button to submit the form. We can use stForm_submit_button and name it Save. After creating the submit button, we need to check if the button is pressed. If the button is clicked, we will write the code to save the expense. We will create a function to add details to the expenses table called save_expense. The function will take parameters for the title, category, amount, and date. First, we need to create a connection to the database. Con equals connect_to_database. We will then set up the connection and create a cursor. Cursor equals con.cursor. Next, we will execute in SQL insert query to add the data to the expenses table. The query will be insert into expenses, title, category, amount, date, values. We will pass the values for each parameter, title, category, amount, date. Once the query is executed, we need to commit the changes to the database. Con.commit. Finally, we will display a success message using stSuccess, expense added successfully. It is essential to close the connection after executing the query. Con.close. Once the expense is saved, we will clear the form inputs using strerun. Now, let's check the connection and user input on the expenses page. Let's run the application. What we have created. Let's add the details. I'm trying to add a movie expense of $1,200. Now let's save the details. The expense has been added, but we are not able to view the details on this page. We need to go to the View Expense page. First, we will check the database to see whether it has been added or not. Now we will run the command to view the details. Select * from expenses. You can see that we have successfully added a movie title, category Others, amount $1,200, and the expense date is 30th of November 2024. We have already created the Add Expense functionality. Now we need to display the data on the screen. We will display only the latest 10 records. To do this, we will create another function called show_data. This function doesn't require any parameters, and it will show the top 5 or 10 records. For this, we will write a query. Select * from expenses order by ID. We will use the pandas library to fetch the data from MySQL using pandas.read_SQL. The function will require the SQL query and the connection as parameters. Once we get the data, we will return it as a data frame. Similarly, we need to create another function to display the data on the Streamlit app. We can set stDataFrame equal to the result of show_data. Now that we have created this function, we can define a variable df equal to the result of show_data and pass this data frame to stDataFrame. Let's go to the application page and refresh it. On the form and directly assign the data to the Streamlit data frame. Now run the code and refresh the page. Add some more details. For example, select food as a category and add the amount. As you can see, whenever I add the details, they get added to the grid. We can continue adding more details. For instance, add office traveling as a category with an amount of $200 and house rent with a change of the date. Let's add it on the 1st of November. You can see the details here. You can download and maximize the output as well. So far, we have added categories like rent, travel, food, and others. But we need to filter the expenses by category to view them more effectively. Currently, let's add more to see the last 10 details. For example, add internet bill for 800, shopping for 8,000, and change the dates accordingly. We are adding these details to see the output. For example, petrol for 500 and milk for 100. As you can see, we now have 12 rows. You can use the head function to display only the last 10 records. By using df.head10, we will only display the last 10 records. Now, let's create a view page with a filter to display data based on the category. We will copy the same connection and variables and create a query to filter the data where the category matches the search term. Let's create a new page called View Expenses History and set the title accordingly. We will use Streamlit's form functionality to create a form for View Expenses. This form will have a text input field that is required to filter the data by category. We will call the show_data method and pass the category as the search value. Write query select asterisk from expenses where category like your input value order by ID desk. To return the data from function, we will call pandas read from SQL function, which requires two parameter, which is query and connection. Please make sure connection always be closed after every action. Now to filter the data, we will create Streamlit form with search value text filed and with search button. If the search button is clicked, we display the filtered data using stDataFrame, df. Refresh the URL and click on View Expenses page to filter the data and type a category. For example, type Other Category. It will filter data of Other Category. If no category is selected, it will show all the records. Now let's create some reports that include charts. We will create a connection library to minimize redundant code and ensure code reusability. We will create one Python file named dataaccess.py. In this file, we will copy the connection method from an existing Python file, allowing us to use the same method across all Python files. Next, we need to write a report. To do this, we will import data access as DA, then import pandas as PD, and Streamlit as ST. We will create a connection object. Since we already imported the class data access as DA, we can call the.testConnection. This method will create a connection object for us. Now, we need to retrieve data into a data frame. Using pandas, we will run a SQL query. We will start by creating a query variable and writing the query inside it. The query will retrieve data from the expenses table. Specifically, we will write, since we are using the sum aggregate function, we also need to use group by. In pandas, we pass the query along with the connection object to execute it. Now we have the data in a data frame. To create a chart, we need to initialize the chart's axes and specify the data frame columns to use. We will create chart data using chart_data equals PD data frame, df, column sadface category, amount. Finally, in Streamlit, we will create a bar chart with bar_char function, with chart data frame and x-axis and y-x details. Now let's run the code. So, here is the report showing how much each category of expenses amounts to. Thank you for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to leave your thoughts or questions in the comments section below. See you in the next video. Let me know if you'd like further tweaks.